Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again in the car here, getting ready to head to the gym. It is Sunday. We got hammered with snow, as you can kind of see a little bit on my sunroof or whatever. We probably got like 8 to 10 inches here in Rhode Island where I am in the South Coast. But Sunday, BBSM, the last day of the workout week, and of course it is another squat day. So it's actually the 4th squat day out of the 5-day program for this week, so it's going to be pretty intense. My back's a little tight only because I went out and had to shovel like 2 or 3 times yesterday, but that's all right, can't make excuses. So we're gonna go in, do some squats, and actually hit some bench as well. So let's go ahead and get to the workout. All right, so jumping right into back squats here again. We're going high bar, and the goal of the first exercise was to work up to a heavy double. And a lot of the questions I've been getting on this program is, Dan, taking into consideration the fact that you're natural and maybe some of this volume might be a little bit too much? My answer is no, only because the way he laid out this program is to work up to heavy sets, not necessarily specific weights. So even though he knows what my maxes are, he understands that recovery is really key, and the goal here is to be able to handle all this frequency and volume. So some days might not be as heavy as you would like, and that's kind of like what today is. So here we just worked up to 455 for the heavy double. See, I'm kind of struggling with this, really sore like I already mentioned, not to mention the 4th time I've squatted. And a lot of these felt pretty high to me, and that's one of the reasons why we switched up the viewing angle this next time. So after the heavy double, the goal was to drop the weight about 15% and hit 5 sets of 3. Now, if I stuck to my math right, it should have been 385, but I didn't really feel like making excuses because I felt like if I wasn't so sore and stiff, I should have gone heavier for my doubles. So I dropped it to 405 instead. Also got a different angle here just so you can see that I am just about hitting depth. But 405 for 3 for 5 sets went up fine, just didn't want to record the rest. And from there we moved on to flat bench press, so I did a couple of sets of warming up before jumping into 255 for 4 sets of 6 with a pause. And for the most part my pauses were fine here, I felt, although 1 or 2 of them looked like they were fairly fast, but just went ahead and wanted to get these done. Now for these bench presses too, I'm using my middle finger on the rung, so my grip is just a little bit wider than it's been the last 10 weeks. Gonna try to play around with this and see if I find it more comfortable. Again, only filming the first set here because of the volume and weights didn't really change. We then moved on to flat dumbbell bench press, and this is the first time I did this in literally about 4 months. And the goal here was 4 sets as heavy as possible. And Dan says as long as you get somewhere between 6 to 15 reps, that's fine. Because I hadn't done this in so long, I wasn't really sure what weight to use. So I just went with 100s, and the first 2 sets I got for 12 reps each. The second 2 sets I was feeling a bit beat and only was able to do 10 reps each. Again, only filming the first set there. We then moved on to 4 sets of incline dumbbell flies. Again, the goal here was to just go as heavy as possible, but since I haven't done this in a long time, plus I was feeling pretty beat from all the other volume we've done thus far, I kept it a little bit lighter. Going forward, I'll probably bump up the weight some here. You're seeing my first set of 30 for 10, but I also bumped up the weight 2.5 pounds each set following. And these felt pretty good, and again, I don't think the weight is anything overly taxing, but again, just given what I've been doing so far today, it was a very tough, long workout day, and I didn't really want to overdo it just yet, although I will try to push myself a little bit harder in some of these other sets going forward. Then we finally finished with 4 sets of dips. Again, the goal here was to go as heavy as possible, but given the fact that my shoulder's been bothering me in the last couple days, plus I hadn't done these in a long time, just really getting reintroduced to it, went with 4 sets of 10 with just 45 pounds. As always, you can check out my full workout log in Fitocracy. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.